Your dashboard going dark is not always a dead computer. In many cases, the first thing to check is a tiny fuse that can cost less than a cup of coffee. But the danger is real. If your oil pressure light, battery light, temperature warning, or brake warning cannot turn on, your car may be trying to warn you while you see nothing. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why dashboard lights stop working, what to check first, and which fixes you can safely do yourself. Your instrument cluster is the panel in front of you that shows speed, fuel level, engine temperature, warning lights, turn signals, and gear position. In simple terms, it is your car's health screen. Older vehicles often use tiny bulbs behind the dashboard. Newer vehicles use electronic displays, light-emitting diodes, and computer signals. Modern cars also use a body control module and a data network, which work like the central nervous system of the vehicle. If that network fails, the cluster may go silent even when the screen itself is not broken. The most common place to start is the instrument cluster fuse. A fuse is a safety link in the electrical circuit. If too much current flows, the fuse breaks before wiring or computer parts get damaged. Think of it like a weak bridge designed to collapse before the whole road catches fire. Instrument cluster fuses are often in the 5 to 15 amp range, but the exact rating depends on the car. Never guess. Use the owner's manual or the fuse box cover. If the fuse is blown, the cluster may go completely dark. If your car is older, burned out dashboard bulbs are still very possible. Many vehicles built before the modern light-emitting diode era use small incandescent bulbs behind the instrument cluster. These bulbs age, get hot, and eventually fail. The idea is simple. If a lamp in your house burns out, the room goes dark even though the house still has power. This problem usually affects older vehicles, especially cars that are 15 years old or more. Sometimes only one part of the dashboard goes dark, while other gauges still work. This one sounds too simple, but it fools many drivers. The dashboard dimmer may be turned all the way down. The dimmer controls how bright the cluster backlighting is. On some vehicles, if it is set to the lowest position, the dashboard can look completely dead at night. Think of it like lowering your phone brightness to 0 and then thinking the phone is broken. The dimmer is usually near the headlight switch, on the dash panel, or built into a stalk. If the switch fails internally, it can also cut the backlight signal. Electricity needs a complete path. Power goes to the instrument cluster and ground gives it a way back. If the ground connection is loose, rusty, or corroded, the circuit becomes weak and unreliable. A bad ground is like trying to drink through a straw with a hole in it. The drink is there, but the flow keeps failing. Ground problems can cause flickering lights, jumping gauges, dim warning lights, or random failures that appear and disappear. They are common in humid areas, coastal regions, and places where roads are treated with salt. Sometimes the instrument cluster itself is the problem. Inside the cluster there is a circuit board, small electronic parts, voltage control, solder joints, and light drivers. If one of those parts fails, the dashboard may lose backlighting, warning lights, or even the entire display. Think of it like a laptop screen. If the charger is good and the power is reaching the laptop, but the screen stays black, the screen assembly may be the fault. Some vehicles are known by owners for cluster problems, but you should still test fuses, power, ground, and connectors first. On modern cars, the cluster may depend on messages from other computers. The body control module can control lighting, interior electronics, and communication with the instrument panel. If that module loses power, fails, or stops talking through the car's data network, the cluster may not receive the command to show certain lights. Think of a train station display board. The screen may be fine, but if the control room stops sending information, the board has nothing useful to show. This is harder to diagnose without a scanner that reads body and network codes. The last major cause is damaged wiring or corrosion at the cluster connector. The instrument cluster needs power, ground, lighting control, and data signals. If a pin bends, corrodes, backs out, or loses contact, the cluster can go dark or behave randomly. Think of a phone charger that only works when you bend the cable a certain way. The phone is not always the problem. The connection is unreliable. Moisture, windshield leaks, flood damage, rodents, and chafed wires can all interrupt the dashboard circuit, especially on older or storm-damaged vehicles. Before removing anything, perform the key-on bulb check. Turn the ignition to the on position without starting the engine. On many push-button cars, this means pressing the start button without pressing the brake pedal. Most warning lights should appear for a few seconds as a self-test. If none of them appear, the problem is probably system-wide. Think fuse, power, ground, dimmer, cluster power, or communication. If only some lights appear, the problem may be specific bulbs, light circuits, or part of the cluster. Next, check the instrument cluster fuse. Turn the ignition off and find the fuse box using the owner's manual or fuse box cover. Look for labels such as meter, cluster, panel, illumination, gauges, instrument panel, or body control. Pull the fuse and inspect it, but do not rely only on your eyes. A test light or multimeter is better. Both test points on top of the fuse should show power when the circuit is active. Replace the fuse only with the same amp rating. A bigger fuse can damage wiring. Now test the dimmer and inspect grounds. Turn the headlights on and move the dimmer through its full range. Watch the dashboard, radio buttons, climate controls, and steering wheel buttons. If everything brightens except the cluster circuit may be separate. If everything stays dark, the dimmer circuit or lighting power may be at fault. For grounds, disconnect the negative battery cable before working behind the dashboard. Look near the steering column and under the dash for loose bolts, corrosion, burn marks, or damaged ground wires. If the simple checks do not find the fault, scan the car. A basic code reader may only read engine and transmission faults. For a modern dashboard problem, you need a scanner that can read body control, instrument cluster, airbag, brake, and communication codes. Communication codes are important because they show when modules are not talking properly. After that, inspect the cluster connector. Disconnect the negative battery cable first, remove the trim carefully, release the connector lock, and check the pins for corrosion, moisture, bending, melting, or pins pushed backward. The cheapest fixes come first. A fuse usually costs $1 to $10 if you replace it yourself. A shop may charge more because you are paying for diagnosis. Old cluster bulbs may cost $5 to $30, but the labor is removing the cluster. A dimmer switch may cost $20 to $150 for the part. Cleaning a ground can cost almost nothing if you have basic tools. The rule is simple. Do not replace the instrument cluster before checking the fuse, dimmer, power, ground, and connector. The expensive problems are internal cluster failure, body control module faults, and damaged wiring. A rebuilt or used cluster can be a good option, but only if the part number, mileage rules, and programming requirements match your vehicle. Body control module repairs often need professional scanning and programming. Wiring repairs can be cheap when the damage is visible or expensive when the fault is hidden behind the dashboard. The 3 takeaways are simple. Do the key-on bulb check, start with the cheap causes. And never ignore a dead dashboard, because a warning you cannot see cannot protect your engine.